Province address. Mike, a very good morning to you. What are you learning at this time?
Good morning to you once again. We are still here at the Jackpotters Hall in Polokwane. We are waiting for the Premier of the province, Stan Mathabatha, to come to talk to us about what the expectations for this year will be. You must remember that in the morning we spoke to the provincial spokesperson, Kenny Matiba, about timelines and the expectations, and I'm now bringing in the political analyst, Elvis Masuka, to also talk to us about the promises that were made in the past and how far we are now. Mr. Masuka, welcome to SABC. Let's talk about the promises that the Premier made in the past. Have any of them been addressed?
Yeah, to a large extent, I think there are some service delivery benchmarks that were met by the Limpopo provincial government. But, the key challenge or failure on the part of the provincial government is the creation of employment for these young people, especially the graduates who are having certificates, diplomas and degrees, but they are still looking for jobs. So I think that is a challenge that is engulfing the Limpopo provincial government. On the other side, yes, there are some other service delivery benchmarks that we can see when it comes to fiscal stability, when it comes to a proper administration, and when it comes to even the regulation of fiscal affairs within provincial departments. There is some progress, but the greatest challenge facing the legacy of Premier Mathabatha is job creation, because almost every year thousands of young people continue to register their names under the banner unemployment. So to a large extent, that's where Premier Mathabatha must put his emphasis on.
Let's quickly talk about the issue of corruption in government departments, the municipalities as well. If you look at Premier Mathabatha, is he able to marshal a line of command to say this must come to an end? Will he talk about corruption? And also looking at his past term, did he talk about corruption? Was he able to stem it out?
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. Since 2014 to date, the Premier has been able to exemplify himself as a leader who is far away from any allegations of corruption. But the problem with the Premier is that he doesn't take decisive actions against the people who are alleged to be involved in corruption. Because yes, you can maintain a clean, good governance image as a Premier, but ordinary people will say, but Premier Mathabatha, yes, you are clean in terms of, a good governance. But what happened to these other leaders in your government who are implicated in acts of corruption, money laundering and other things? And I think that's where Premier Mathabatha must set an example. Because as a leader, it's very much important to set a punitive example about other leaders who are implicated in corruption, so that the people can say, here is a leader who is clean and who is also fighting corruption.
Before I let you go, Mr. Masuka, let's quickly talk about the service delivery. You indicated that next year it will be local government elections. People on the ground want to hear what the Premier is going to say about the issue of water, roads infrastructure, houses and sanitation. What can we expect from the Premier? Will he deliver, looking at the fact that we are going to a local government election?
I think to a certain extent, the Premier will announce some, marginal, progress and development when it comes to other service delivery indicators and benchmarks. But one thing that I'm quite sure he's also going to emphasize is even to try to bring the business community, the corporate community into action, because Limpopo is rich in, for example, platinum, but we don't have manufacturing plants, we don't have processing plants in Limpopo. It means we mine this platinum, we sell it very cheap to foreign countries, they process them in tertiary goods, they send them back to South Africa, they are selling back our own goods very expensively, and I think that's something that the Premier must pay attention to. We need manufacturing and processing plants in Limpopo.
That is Elvis Masuka, the political analyst, indicating that the Premier has made a lot of promises. Some of them were met, but in a large extent, we still have people on the ground level who are still waiting for basic services such as water, proper road sanitation and housing. As you can see, the stage is set, the guard of honor is ready. We are expecting Premier Mathabatha to walk in and deliver his State of the Province address in the next few minutes. And it's now back to you in the studio.
All right, Mike, thank you very much indeed for that reporting. The Premier will outline the progress made as well as the challenges that still lies ahead in that province at about 11 o'clock this morning. Mike Maringa live for us in Polokwane, Limpopo. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Desiree.